Tell me when, KD. Hi, welcome to the Goldwater live streaming from Sentosa Island. I'm here with the infamous art outlaw, that bad boy of Blue Delft himself, Charles Kraft. Charles, first off, I was wanting to go ahead and touch on the inkling of a North Korea connection you have. I know you got the series of teapots with everyone from Charles Manson and Adolf Hitler, as well as Kim Jong Il. What originally inspired you to choose Kim? By the way,
I was just looking for people that the media was jumping on.
Right. Okay. So that's Aleister Crowley, Charles Manson, Kim Jong Il. They all fit the bill of, you know. So do you think that brings me to the next question? Do you think Kim got a bad rap? Like both of the Kims, even?
I don't. Yeah, I do.
Huh. Okay. So you would lean towards with Leibach in saying that it's not as bad as they say. Then, yeah.
Did Leibach come out and make a statement to that effect?
Well, I'm assuming that Leibach is more okay with NoCo than most folks in the West, as they're the only rock band, the only Western group to ever have a chance to perform behind the NoCo curtain. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the truth. So they must have shared some of my opinion about him being the butt of a lot of negative publicity.
Yeah. Because and you know, for the benefit of the viewers and listeners, Leibach, if you're not familiar, is an industrial group. Now you met those guys when you went to Slovenia. Can you tell us a little bit the fascinating story? You took some George Soros and NEA grant money and bought weapons on the black market during the Kosovo crisis, right?
I was before Kosovo, but yeah.
Oh, okay. This was during the Serbian thing, right?
Listen, I didn't buy them. I was borrowing them from Armenian arms dealers.
Oh, okay. Really? Yeah.
And those guys told me that they weren't in the business of supporting an art project, and if I wanted guns, I needed to pay them for them. So
okay, so you had to pay just to make the slipcasts instead of just to borrow them.
No, I was borrowing, and then I was complaining about the size, because when I was making molds and then reproducing those light arms in ceramics, I was ending up with the guns that were 10 to 20% smaller than the ones I'd used to make the mold from.
Ah, okay.
So I was sending back these handguns through an intermediary, and I got the message that if I want any more from these arms dealers, that I had to purchase the guns. They couldn't be loaned.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think I remember one story. One of the first ones, didn't you gum up some works? Like, didn't have something plugged or something? It ruined the weapon?
Yeah, I did that in my home studio in Seattle.
Oh, so that's even before you left. Okay, yeah.
Well, I started the gun project in Slovenia, and I continued to work on it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was easier for me to get guns in Seattle than in Yugoslavia.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry.
Huh. That's funny. Now, speaking of, I'm sorry, go ahead.
It was easier to get guns in Seattle during the Yugoslav war than in Yugoslavia.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it a similar scene still? I'm guessing not. right?
Well, now rather than real guns, I'm using airsoft replicas, plastic.
Mm, okay.
And if I ruin them, I can just start over again with another one.
Right, right. Now you were talking about folks that don't get a fair shake in the media, and I'm no Trump supporter per se, but I do support this summit, and I think great things could come from it. Have you seen any of the coverage, like what the mainstream media are saying? It's really kind of pathetic. They're pretending that they care about the North Koreans. Oh well, what's going to happen to the North Koreans? Like, so wait a minute. Now all of a sudden you're worried about the North Koreans? They've been starving for decades, and now all of a sudden you're worried.
Well, I think we ought to get a movement going to nominate Dennis Rodman for a Nobel Peace Prize. And,
Yeah.
and get Bob Dylan to present it to him.
I mean, like, honestly, Dennis Rodman is kind of our secret weapon when it comes right down to it. The younger Kim got a little taste for the West with the bad boy of basketball. Yeah. So yeah, do you think do you think anything will come of this though? Do you?
I don't know, because I'm not even sure that North Korea is a real country.
Ah, the whole CIA setup idea. Hey, go into that a little bit. Tell me what you think as far as that goes. So
I don't know what to think, but I've been to various.
So you think the whole idea of North Korea could be a psyop?
Yeah, I think Kim Jong Un was educated in Switzerland at fancy private schools that the rest of the global leaders send their to. So I mean,
Really?
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the case.
Now I'd heard some things about, like, the Dalai Lama and Kim Jong Un are actually just CIA plants. I've heard these stories, but yeah, like, is there anything really to back this? Like, what evidence is there for this?
There's a bunch of strange photographs that have been deconstructed and sort of examined.
Oh wow!
That they were staged. And then also, I don't know. I mean, I can't remember where I went where they were discussing. I think Jay Dyer, you know him?
Yeah, I like him. Yeah.
I think he's the guy that planted that bee in my bonnet.
So the end goal then would be, I'm assuming, if the North Korea is a psyop and Kim Jong Il is just another one of the good old boys, then his job is to be the boogeyman, then, right?
I guess I would assume so. I think they do it all the time. They have a good guy and a bad guy, and
yeah,
it's part of
the whole Reagan thing: white hats and black hats. Yeah,
a strategy of tension, keeping us always like in a state of fear that something global is going to unfold, a nuclear standoff or that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I guess once you've seen enough of how much has been faked and how much has been covered up, it is it does get you wondering about just about everything. But yeah, no, if you're able to find anything about the reconstructed photos, I'd actually like to do a piece related to that, because I've heard the same thing about Belgium, even that Belgium isn't a real country. It's it's an NWO.
One of the things that I remember about this conspiracy theory is the computers that they're watching are so old that they couldn't possibly be used right now to, in the photograph they're so old, to launch these nuclear warheads that they claim are constantly being tested.
Oh, right, yeah, and we know, like I've seen some of the, speaking of staged, like some of the rockets and things. You know, you could tell, like, that's cardboard or whatever. You know, so I mean, like it's a short step from there to the whole thing was a setup to have Kim Jong Un as the a boogeyman, right? So here's another question: what do you think? What's the end goal of, if that's the case? Then what would this summit be all about? I mean, like, are they retiring? Like, they've got another boogeyman in the background that they're going to put in his place, or how's that work?
I have no idea. I can't. I don't know. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I
Like, one thing that concerns me is, China's becoming more and more capitalist while keeping the trappings of communism. Like, they call themselves a communist republic, but they're basically as capitalist as we are, except, we're in debt to them, so they're evidently doing it better. But what worries me is, I guess, if you got rid of the standoff, the Mexican standoff situation, get rid of the bad guys, then you end up with that scary, global village type thing, where the 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 end goal of the UN, the whole globalist, I guess, the globalist end goal is one world government, I suppose.
it's a multipolar one world government, and I think
Multipolar world government.
yeah, and I think that the BRICS trade alliance, of which China is a big part, is going to be part of this multipolar new world order, along with that incredible one road, one, what is that called? That one road program where they're building the Orient Express.
Oh gosh, I know what you're talking about. The globe or the track and something initiative where it's going through. Yeah, see, okay, I totally forgot about that because the trains that are going to be heading through all of Russia and most of Asia, and they'd already talked to both North and South Korea about running it through there. Which that was before the Olympics thing, so it feels like this summit has actually kind of been in the works for a while. If you look at things like that, yeah.
What's the name of that one something? I can't remember the name of it. It's the program. It's going to be the most expensive engineering project since Suez Canal or something.
Yeah, it's quite possibly also going to be the new Silk Road.
Yeah.
Like, that was my first thought. They're gonna, it's gonna be a smuggler and human trafficker's wet dream. Have you heard of the Belt and I think it's Belt and Road Initiative? Track and Road. They're gonna run rails through. Even before the Olympic thing, they had planned to. China's running rails through all these Asian countries, and they talked to North and South Korea, and they agreed, yeah, you can run it right through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and then there was the Olympics, and then there's the summit. So, doesn't it sort of feel like this was in the works already?
Yeah, well, people have to be pretty careful. Oh yeah, I mean, if they're making this, they're gonna. If we look at this as a drama, the piece will just allow for the completion of their One Belt, One Road engineering project, and then BRICS will emerge as this one new world order trade alliance. Because we started off worried about the Atlantic Trade Alliance, the Anglo-American Atlanticists, and then little by little, I think we're going to be introduced to the idea of China being a leader in the New World Order.
Well, they're already a third of the global economy, and China and India are the two fastest growing economies in the world. Yeah. So, I mean, if you look at the history of wealth and learning, it starts in Asia. and it moves slowly west. Portugal is a landlocked country that's on a bit of Spain, and it took over the whole world. Why? Because it moves west. Then England, a little island. What if the rest of the countries just surrounded England? They didn't, because it moves west. And, well, the New World was the last of the West, and now it's heading back to Asia. I mean, you know, it's an idea anyways, yeah.
Isn't this BRICS alliance just another iteration of the World Bank?
Yeah.
I mean...
So Mr. Kraft, I had a question for you. We're going to be heading up to just right up here behind us, where the hotel, the Capella Hotel is, and we're attempting to get there on foot. It looks like we'll be able to do it, but we'll be in the same room at 4 o'clock is when
they're having the press
with Kim Jong-un and Donald Trump. We have the opportunity to ask a question, and I've been asking everyone, what would your question be, sir?
Listen, I haven't formulated any questions because I wasn't really thinking about participating in any, audiovisual way with this conference whatsoever. So it became kind of a surprise to me that you and Philip wanted to chat on today on Skype. You know, I decided to reset my Skype program up because I'm outdated. I really don't have...
Means they want more of your information.
Yeah.
Well, I had to sign up with Microsoft to get back into my Skype program.
Oh, that's a nightmare.
So now Bill Gates wants your information as well as the Skype.
I could talk for it. But I don't have any... I really haven't formulated any questions, and I really haven't been following this conference that closely.
Well, we talked to a guy last night, and this is our second question on deck, and I think
we met a guy named Gordon who's a manager at a little restaurant here, and he's a poli-sci major at Adelaide as well.
This guy was brilliant. I mean, out of the blue, he came back. Most people didn't.
It took like 10 seconds, and it was just, you could tell he had the question when we asked, so what would your question be? And he's just putting it into words because the question was already there.
His question was, what else are you going to negotiate?
Yeah,
in the sense that
besides nukes, what would have been
let's say that the
line?
They give up on it. What else are they going
like?
To
yeah, if they said, well, can we keep the nukes if we have democracy and start having elections and go capitalist?
Yeah,
and food for thought.
What would be the trade tariffs in that case? I mean, we've what would be? I mean, that just opened up an entire new world of diplomacy in my mind.
I thought that Kim Jong-un already agreed to stop his nuclear testing.
Well, the question is like, really?
Supposedly, right? Yeah.
So I read that like last month.
Yeah, I think most of that deal has already been done, and a lot of this is a photo op. But I think that that's really what's being discussed now during lunch. They're having lunch right now. The two of those guys. I wonder if Trump is getting 2 scoops of ice cream today.
Oh no! If so, the news will be all over him. Sure.
I need to get back into the studio room, our virtual room there. Mr. Kraft, thank you so much for joining us, and Godspeed. I really appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, well, thanks for the opportunity, but I wish I was a little bit more caught up with all of this.
Well, the material we got from you so far was great. You missed the part where he's talking about a theory that Kim Jong-un is a plant, went to school with all the globalist elite, something about doctored photos, and definitely an interesting perspective. Charles, we're about to grab lunch right now. If you're available tomorrow, we'd love to chat again. If not, hopefully get a chance to interview again about some other topic very soon.
Sure. That's fine.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much, Charlie. You have a great rest of the day, okay?
Yeah, I'm glad that we got this Skype thing sorted out so we can do it.
Right. Excellent. Yeah.
Okay, well, good luck and have fun there. What's the name of the island you're on?
Sentosa.
Sentosa.
Mm-hmm.
How are you getting to the mainland and back and forth? How's that work?
There's this huge, long, like tunnel thing.
Oh,
Like you're like basically sort of underground for like, I don't know, it's at least a couple of miles. Yeah. It's pretty nifty, but kind of eerie as well.
are you on some water while you're underground?
Uh,
Must be, right?
what's that? I'm sorry, what was that?
Are you on? Is it like the channel and you're underwater?
I'm not sure if we're underwater or just underground. It's just like I mean, it could easily be underwater though. I'll have to ask the next time we're in a cab. But yeah,
Well, if it's an island, you got to be underwater, right?
right. Yeah, I'm assuming so. Yeah. Well, thanks so much, Charles. Hey, hopefully we can get a hold of you tomorrow. But if not, let's talk again soon. You choose the topic.
Okay, we can do that. Maybe by tomorrow, if you try me around noon tomorrow, I'll have a question formulated that you can present.
Okay, great. Yeah. Be thinking about some things, and anything tangentially related is fine as well. Yeah.
Hey, why don't you ask Kim Jong-un if his father sick dogs on his uncle?
Ooh, yeah. I don't know if I would ask that question. I'd heard that story, but yeah, I don't know. Didn't that guy kill his Un also killed his uncle and girlfriend, and yeah. No, I might hold that one under my hat.
I didn't ever believe that story that he didn't stand at a ball game or something, and then anyway, I don't remember exactly how it went, but supposedly he was killed by dogs.
Yeah. I remember. I vaguely remember the story. Yeah, just because it's so gruesome. But once again, with the stuff you're mentioning, it also fits the profile of just a scare story, if that's what it is. Yeah.
Disinformation.
Yeah.
Just to make things look.
Thanks so much, Charles. Keep in touch through like Facebook and email and or Skype text, and hopefully we'll hear from you tomorrow, and if not, real soon.
Okay, bye, Philip.
Bye, Charles. Have a great day.
You too.
Okay. Charles is all like, "Oh, I'm not gonna have any. I'm not prepared. I won't have it." Charles Kraft, you've always got something interesting to say. It turned out pretty well.
Awesome. And that's good. It's such a different.
Hold on. Hello? Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I thought I'd cut this off. Crap.